But the average cost of a new manufactured home is now $109,000.
We're going backwards. Don't you see that? It's 2026 now. And now we're all like, yeah, well, a trailer park doesn't sound that bad. Everything is supposed to get cheaper and easier as technology advances. But yet now, people are like, yeah, but how much for this fabricated trailer home on wheels? That's my dream home now. Billionaires want us homeless. Video by Vanessa Wingard. I don't even know. It even got a weird A on it, bro. What the fuck is this? Dutch? I don't know. No offense, Vanessa. Shout out to Vanessa. Let's check this out. Billionaires want us homeless, man. What's going on?
Y'all, so why I go to my leasing office today to renew my lease and they was telling me how my rent is going to increase by like $600.
Yup.
Ever wonder how much it costs to live in a camper? It's not as cheap as you might think.
And I do love this house. I love everything about this house.
That's where we are, huh?
I've come to the realization that I can't stay here because I can't afford to.
You know, I live full-time in an RV, and we're trying to get a new RV, and they're just super expensive.
Call it a mobile home, call it a trailer, but either way, we're buying one.
People are buying storage sheds from Home Depot and converting them.
This is where we are. This is where we are. People are looking up on YouTube how much to live in an RV. What is it like living in an RV? Where can I park my RV when I'm living in my RV? These are actual YouTube searches, I'm sure, being searched by the thousands every day.
Into homes. The billionaires have already bought those too.
I just got our rent renewal and it's going up by $300 a month. $300 for a one-bedroom apartment that is not updated in any sort of way.
Of course
we
not.
already pay, with all the fees and everything, $2,000 a month. And now we're going to be paying $2,300 a month.
Yeah, at this point, you're better off signing multiple year leases. That's the only way to guarantee it's not gonna go up by fucking $500 every fucking year, dude. Like, you gotta sign 3-year leases at this point. That's the only way you can have some degree of predictability.
Tiny apartment.
22.6 million renters in the US are now cost burdened, meaning they're spending more than 30% of their income just on housing and utilities. People are working 40, 50 hours a week, but half their paycheck is gone before they've even bought groceries, gas, or had any fun. So naturally, people start thinking, why am I paying someone else's mortgage? I should just buy a house. And that's where the next trap lies. The median single-family home hit over $400,000 in 2024. That's 5 times the median household income. To afford the monthly mortgage payment on that home, you need to earn at least $126,000 a year. Out of the 46 million people who rent in the US, only 6 million of those people make that amount of money each year. That means mathematically, 87% of renters will never own a home.
Again, recall that video we reacted to not too long ago. For the baby boomers, when they were around 27 years old, half of them owned a home by the age of 27, bro. For the baby boomer generation. Now, 87% of people who rent homes cannot literally financially cannot afford to buy one. Not the average home.
So I was just out on a walk right now, and check out these homes next to this path that I'm on. I was looking these homes up on Zillow.
Yeah.
And you're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of $615, $625, $650 for these really tiny houses.
Right.
I mean, they're not very big. You can see the properties they're sitting on are tiny, and yet people want $650,000.
Yeah, insane.
For these homes at what, 6.25% interest rates?
Yeah.
Like, no wonder nobody can afford anything.
According to NBC, in Q2 of 2025, investors bought 1/3 of all.
Bro, you have to understand, this is all artificial. Like, literally nothing is stopping the government from making it so that we could build homes more easily, like opening up the land. There is nothing stopping the government from doing that. We could build housing more efficiently, more effectively. We could literally cut the pricing of housing by half. These big corporations, they don't want to do that. The billionaire class, the Epstein class, they don't want to do that. A lot of their wealth is tied up in real estate. And so if they can artificially keep the prices of homes high by flooding the nation with immigrants and preventing us from building new homes for these immigrants and for just anybody else that's here. I'm an immigrant, by the way. That's not a shot at immigrant. I'm just saying this is they're creating an artificial scarcity here.
Single family homes sold.
And then the houses that they're building now are fucking dog shit. They're fucking dog shit, the way how they build these houses these days.
1/3 of homes in a 3-month period. And now they're not just buying homes, they're building entire neighborhoods that you can never own. These are called built-to-rent communities. They look like your average subdivision, houses, driveways, backyards, but every single home is rental only. Built-to-rent now accounts for 9% of all new single-family construction in the U.S. Companies like Tricon, which is part of Blackstone's real estate portfolio, are building these in Texas, Arizona, South Carolina. Yeah. Look at this. A 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 1,900 square feet in Texas with fees comes out to $2,911 a month.
That's crazy.
They've got the cheap vinyl flooring, bathroom tile from the early 2000s, and a backyard the size of a shoebox.
Jeez.
All for the low price of $3,000 a month. Their idea of solving the housing crisis is you will never own a house. You will rent a house instead of an apartment, but each year they'll still increase your rent.
Yeah.
Well, I can't afford my house anymore. My mortgage.
And look, I'm not even like married to this idea that buying a house needs to be a milestone that everyone achieves. That's just like a cultural thing. It's just too fucking expensive. Like I don't think people would mind if you didn't actually own the home you lived in, if everyone was paying like, you know, a quarter or a fifth of what we're now currently paying for rent, or for, you know, it would actually give us more mobility, more freedom with our money. But it's the fact that your rent is also so fucking astronomically high, bro. Like, that's literally all of your paycheck. You pay your rent, you pay your health insurance, you pay your car insurance, and now you're fucked. Now you have nothing.
Went up. When I first purchased this house, it was $169,000. And with all of the insurance and stuff added in, my monthly payment was $1,450 a month. Then my mortgage goes up, and they say, oh, the cost of materials have gone up. So in case anything happens to your house, we'd have to rebuild it. So the insurance has gone up.
Right.
And then the value of the property went up. My payment went from $1,450 to $1,740.
Crazy.
My mortgage is now $2,500 a month. So it went from $1,450 to now $2,500.
Wow, man.
Mortgages are on the rise. Property taxes keep going up.
You have to be rich. That's the only thing now. Like, you have to be rich to like have a normal life. If you're not making a ridiculous amount of money, you are constantly just like on the brink of financial collapse.
I mean, look at this house in New Jersey. 2-bedroom, 1-bath starter home, hasn't been updated, $750,000. Let's look at the property taxes. They jumped 93% from 2024 to 2025. The property tax bill is now over $20,000.
Wow, man.
The insanity.
The fact that you have to pay taxes to live in your house, they're taxing you for living in your own home, is insane. It's an insane concept, right? I can understand like a one-time tax payment when you buy a home, right? Like a one-time tax payment, or if you're going to do some kind of property tax thing, it can't be this much. It can't be this much. That's insane.
Payment. After rent, utilities, car payment, and every other bill, how is anyone supposed to save up for a $750,000 starter home that comes with a $20,000 tax bill?
Right.
They can't. And the reality is, for a lot of people who have bought, they're realizing that they can't afford it, so they're trying to sell. In Austin, Texas, 4.2% of homeowners are upside down. In Cape Coral, Florida, it's 7.8%. Foreclosures are up 14% from 2024. Sellers are removing their listings because they don't want to go below what they initially paid. We can see it on this listing. On Google Trends, Sell My House keeps trending, and a top related query is Sell My House Fast.
Wow.
People aren't just casually listing their homes, they need out of their mortgage.
economy got so bad, bro, we about to sell the house. The house is paid for, but there's still bills. There's still taxes. There's still maintenance on the house. Light bill.
Bro, this is what I'm talking about. When you've already paid off your home, you've done what is supposed to be the hardest part about owning a home financially, and you still have to sell it because you can't afford to pay the fucking bills, bro. The property taxes, the water, the light bill, all these fucking data centers that they're building, sucking up all the water and the electricity, raising the cost of these utility bills. It's insane, bro.
It was $450. The water bill this month was $250. And it ain't nothing but two of us in this house.
Man.
Get a trailer, man. Go buy a little small land in Tennessee somewhere, man. We can't do this city shit no more, man. It's getting hard.
And if it's this bad for people who are still working, imagine the people on a fixed income who have retired. If a senior bought a home for $200,000, paid it off over 30 years, and that home is now valued at $2 million, they owe taxes on a $2 million asset, even though they've never owned $2 million.
Right.
They're on a fixed income, and when they can't pay, the state can and does foreclose.
That's
Adults over
fucked.
65 are now the fastest growing homeless demographic in the country.
Congratulations on paying off your house. Thank you. I finally own my home. I love that for you. Now pay property taxes. For what? For owning the home. But I already paid for the home. Yes. That was for the structure. And the land? That's rented. For who? Us. For how long? Forever. And if I stop paying, we take the house. But I bought it. Correct. And now you maintain it for us.
So you don't even own the land. You don't own anything in this country, bro. You don't own anything. You don't even own your fucking, the content you consume. It's all streamed. You got to pay a monthly fee to access that shit. You don't own anything, man. Do you understand that? I mean, I guess we did come into this world with nothing, and I suppose we will leave with nothing. But it's crazy. I thought while we were alive, you at least had something. You at least got the chance to own a thing. Apparently not.
So this is renting? No. This is home ownership. So what did I actually buy? A lifetime subscription with surprise price increases.
But if you can't afford a traditional home, there are alternatives, modular or manufactured homes built in a factory. It's the next layer down in the funnel. For years, this was considered a real path to affordable home ownership. Today, over 20 million Americans live in manufactured homes. There were over 26,000 shipments in the first quarter of 2025 alone. That's up nearly 8% from 2024. But the average cost of a new manufactured home is now $109,000.
We're going backwards. Don't you see that? It's 2026 now. And now we're all like, yeah, well, a trailer park doesn't sound that bad. You know what I'm saying? That's where we are as a society. We're going backwards. Everything is supposed to get cheaper and easier as technology advances, right? That's how this shit is supposed to work. But yet now people are like, yeah, but how much for this fabricated trailer home on wheels? Yeah, this is going to be, that's my dream home now.
Multi-section homes, the larger ones, are on average $164,000. But that doesn't include land. You need somewhere to put it. And just like everything else, land prices are skyrocketing. Many people place their manufactured home on a rented lot. You own the home, but you rent the small plot of land underneath it. Just like how billionaires are buying up all the single-family homes, they're also buying these manufactured home lots.
Of course.
23 private equity firms now own more than 1,900 manufactured home parks with over 400,000 land lots. They're becoming landlords, literally.
Paul Bojanic owns his manufactured home, but rents the lot it sits on in the Copper Sun 55 and up.
We need to elect politicians, and we need to pass laws that force these corporations to sell off all of these. Like, they have to sell them, bro. They have to list them for sale, and they got to get taxed on it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they probably are getting taxed on that shit. They just got so much money they can pay it.
Community. This summer,
they need to raise it. Yeah, we need to raise the taxes on these properties, make it so that it makes more sense for them to sell them off.
he got a notice.
Oh my God, I'm going to have a heart attack.
That his rent would be increasing to market value from roughly $600 to over $1,100.
I couldn't believe the amount of money that it's gone up. I mean, we're a community of retirees, people with disabilities.
Moving a manufactured home costs between $5,000 and $15,000, with many of these homes being too old to actually move. So people become trapped. And when they can't pay and they need to leave, guess who buys their home? The same people who trapped them. According to investors, it's become one of the highest returning assets in real estate because of simple truth. People have nowhere else to go. But it gets worse. Clayton Homes controls over 50% of the manufactured home market, and they're owned by none other than Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway.
Of course.
But Berkshire didn't just buy the factory, they've bought the entire pipeline. Clayton builds the homes. Vanderbilt Mortgage and 21st Mortgage, both Berkshire subsidiaries, finance the loan. Home First Agency, another subsidiary, sells the insurance. And Berkshire has investments in companies that are buying...
This is some mafiosa type shit, bro. This is some gangster shit, bro.
The land underneath the homes. These people manufacture the home, they finance it, they insure it, and when people can't pay, they take it back. One company owns the entire life cycle from factory to foreclosure.
Wow,
The CFPB is currently suing Vanderbilt. They allege Vanderbilt handed out mortgages knowing people couldn't pay. In one case, their own calculations showed a family of 5 would have $57 left in monthly income after the mortgage payment. Just $57, and they approved the loan anyway. So these people are going into debt for these homes, and look at what they're getting.
And so let this be your daily reminder to never buy a Clayton home. They use what they apparently call conjoleum. They tried to tell us that it was an upgraded version of linoleum. So this is particle board. This is the floor, and I'll just show you. This is literally that. Like, look how thin that is.
Imagine being so excited to find your first home, and just months after moving in, it is covered in mold. It is a 2022 manufactured home, modular home, whatever you want to call it, a trailer. We went through Clayton Homes, and instantly we started having issues.
If you are considering getting a mobile home, please, please, please do not buy Clayton. This problem right here has been fixed 3 times. It's actively raining outside, like heavy thunderstorm, and I had to cut the power to my stove. Like, I can't even cook right now.
So I was contracted to work on this mobile home. I had to replace some of the vinyl. I was surprised at what's under the vinyl. There is no plywood. There's this cardboard. And under that cardboard is the insulation. And on the side of the insulation is the sheetrock. That's something. I've never seen a structure that you live in that didn't have OSB minimum on the exterior of the structure. This is some of the cheapest stuff. This is cheap. You're living in a cardboard house.
I'm not here to shame anyone for purchasing a manufactured home, but I will shame this quality. People think they're buying an affordable housing option when in reality, just like so many products today, it's built as cheaply as possible and sold at the highest possible price. When owning a traditional home is out of reach, what's left? Social media calls it van life. We need to call van life what it actually is.
But you know, it's so funny though. A lot of these people, they vote for Trump and they talk about the third world. Bro, you can't find houses like this in Jamaica. This doesn't exist. Like, if you get a home in Jamaica, that shit is made out of concrete, bro. You know, they have to be built to withstand things like hurricanes and shit like that. You know, of course, yeah, I'm sure if you go to like the slums, you can find some shit that's a little less structurally sound, but this isn't supposed to be the slums, right? What we're looking at right here. This is what you need to understand, man. Americans, y'all are being sold a lie. Y'all are being sold a lie, man. They are robbing all of us blind living here.
It's displacement. Over 480,000 Americans now live in RVs full time. That's double the 2021 figure. And the crazy part, it used to be that manufactured home production outpaced RV production by 18%, but that's no longer the case. RV production now outpaces manufactured homes by a ratio of 4-to-1. And remember Berkshire Hathaway? They own Clayton Homes and the mortgage companies. Well, they also own 3 of the largest RV brands in the US. The pattern is simple. Make traditional homes unaffordable, buy up the alternatives, and then make those unaffordable as well. They understand that when rent is astronomical, we will look for alternative living solutions, and they've already bought them. And as a result, RV living is becoming more expensive than living in a house.
Yeah, man.
People keep asking me how much.
It's just like how people tried to quit cigarettes by vaping, and so all the cigarette companies, they bought all the vape companies. They're like, we gonna get that money from you regardless. We don't give a fuck where you go. You're ours. Oh, you thought you were gonna duck us by living in an RV? Yeah, guess what? We own the RVs too, bitch.
It costs for us to live full-time up here in North Dakota in our RV. Rent cost is only $545 a month, and then we also have to pay for our trailer, which is part of our debt, which is $1,050 a month for that payment, and then my husband's truck payment is $1,000. Our insurance for both of our cars is $429, and our trailer insurance is $97. We also pay $60 for Wi-Fi. We pay $192 for our phones, and then $100 for subscriptions. Between food and gas, we're spending around $1,000 a month. We spend around $80 a month on laundry, which brings our total to $4,553 a month to live in this RV.
So after
to live in an RV? Damn.
Truck payment, the RV payment, and various expenses, $4,500 to live in an RV. I don't know about you, but that does not sound very affordable to me.
Nah, fuck that. You better off renting.
But it's only going to get worse. Equity Lifestyle Properties now owns more than 200 RV resorts and campgrounds across the US and Canada, over 91,000 sites. They're not building these campgrounds for families to go on vacation. They're building them because people have nowhere else to go. And this isn't me speculating, this is in their own SEC filings. We believe millennial and Gen Z demographic will contribute to our future long-term customer pipeline.
Criminals. These venture capitalists, CEOs, the people that own these fucking corporations that are buying up all of the land, buying up all the properties, forcing you to rent, raising the cost of living. Bro, they're criminals. These people are evil, man.
Then go on to talk about a study, and the conclusion of the study was that demand from millennial and Gen Z would continue to.
And all we can do is just sit back and watch? Bro, no. How is this possible? We got to be able to do something about this. We got to be able to do something about this, man. Like, this is insane.
Outpace supply for manufactured home and RV communities. It then goes on to say, the entitlement process to develop new manufactured home and RV communities is extremely restrictive. As a result, there have been limited new communities developed in our target demographic markets. Meaning it's hard for other companies to develop communities, so therefore we have to live in theirs, and they are going to jack up the prices.
Come with us as two 19-year-olds turning a shed into our home.
Wow.
Back here is where the bathroom is going to be. This is going to be the laundry room. Right here will be like the kitchen, the stove. I'm going to have like a little island. And then over here, the living room.
And this right here is actually a tiny home. Tough shed from Home Depot, 2 stories, 860 square feet.
Yeah, I saw this. The last time I went to Home Depot, they got these lined up. I was like, damn, those low-key look kind of like tiny homes. Because that's the model, bro. People are buying these and living in them. Wow.
1 bedroom, full kitchen, full living room.
When everything becomes unaffordable, you get people buying storage sheds from Home Depot and converting them into homes.
Yeah.
That's how desperate things have gotten.
And they're proud of it. And they should be, because, you know, they're not taking this shit lying down. They're not giving up on life. They're saying, fuck it, I'm gonna make something work some way, somehow. But this is not the American dream that I heard about when I was moving to this country. You know what I'm saying? 16, 17 years ago. Like, this was not the American dream. The American dream, I wasn't coming to America so I could live in a fucking shed. Hell fucking no. Nigga, what the fuck? I did not move to America so I could live in a shed that I got from Home Depot, bro. But the crazy part is, it's Americans born and raised in America that's what they doing. That's what they gotta do. Shit is fucked up. You used to be able to be a mailman and raise a family. You used to be able to work for the federal government as a mailman. Your wife doesn't even have a job. You have 2 kids. You bought a home. You got a dog, a fence, a backyard, all of that. And you could, you know what I'm saying, take your family out to eat at a diner after Sunday church sermon. Now, you got to be a neurosurgeon to fucking do that shit.
Here's one on Home Depot's website right now. A build-it-yourself kit, 10 by 12 feet, $3,343. It's clearly a shed, but look at the description.
How much for a spool of rope? Yeah. Yeah, if I get to that point, bro, where it's like this is all, I'm like, actually, I bet you a spool of rope is way cheaper. I'm fucking with you. I'm playing. But I'm just saying, shit is dire, bro.
Windmere has shed DNA, but begs to be more than a storage shed. They know exactly who's buying these and what they're doing with them. And the reviews confirm it. People are converting these into tiny homes.
5 stars! Oh my God, I love my shed home. I love it. It's so spacious.
It's the new affordable option. And they're now building these sheds to look more like house than shed.
Right?
They come with windows.
Because they know. They're like, people are living in these. Let's stop even calling them sheds. Let's call them, I don't even know. They're going to change the name of them. They're not going to be called sheds for much longer.
Upstairs, side.
You know, that has a stigma to it. So they got to call it something else. Right? They can't call it something so that you don't think you can use it as a shed, but they don't want you to think you gotta use it as a shed either.
Being the works. Looking at this, it made me wonder, is private equity involved in the shed industry?
Of course.
And I don't know why I thought the answer could be anything other than, of course they are. Cyprium Partners made a $30 million investment in backyard products.
Nice.
And by 2017, their COO was bragging that they were producing more storage sheds than anyone in North America. And he specifically noted that accessory dwelling units were an emerging category. Even in 2017, they noticed
they're going to start buying up the tent market. You know, like tents that you go camping in? Yeah. They're just pushing people further and further closer to the brink of just living in tents. And then they're going to buy up the tent market as well.
People converting these sheds into living spaces and thought, let's capitalize on that. That Home Depot shed I just showed you, it's one of 7 brands owned by Backyard Products, the same company that received private equity backing. Billionaires are buying up every affordable housing alternative, things that arguably shouldn't even count as alternatives in the first place. So what are people supposed to do? Be homeless? No, because the Supreme Court made that illegal in 2024.
Vicious. It's illegal to be homeless, to be unhoused. It's illegal. They made it illegal to be broke, but if you're broke and you own a home, then that's illegal as well. They're going to take it from you. Bro, this is some evil shit, man. I would rather live under like a king in the old times. That like feudalism. That sounds better.
So then it's the for-profit prisons, the $4 billion industry where private equity is already running the phones, the food, and the healthcare.
Yeah.
That's
all of this is just a pipeline to create slaves, right? You're a wage slave, but then when the wages from your wage slave job isn't paying you enough and you get evicted from your home, now you're unhoused. That's illegal. So they capture you and put you in prison and then force you to work. And now you're working essentially as literally a slave for pennies per hour. That's what all of this is for, really.
Bottom of the funnel.
It's a place for someone to live in full time for months or years at a time, where they live in a recreational vehicle, in an RV. This is a business I've been in for about 7 years. They have very small RV parks out there that are 3 to 10 pad sites that are about 3 to 10 times more profitable than buying a single family home as a rental. So I don't understand why people buy single family homes, because like buying a small RV park costs the same, but is significantly more profitable.
That is evil. Like, just that's how you're thinking.
Well, then
it's like, yeah, let's go buy a small RV park so that we can take advantage of the poor and struggling. It is what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the fucked up part. We all still gonna play the game. We all gonna still try to get rich. Because it's that or die. They used to be get rich or die trying. Now it's get rich or die. Yeah, that's where we're at now. But hey, you let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What the fuck? Thank you for watching, and until next time, Peace out.